Shalom Yashrala, this is your brother Dawada, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of great millstone that taught us his truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Aki, pushing his truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. And, that's, kind of what I want to get into in this here lesson, enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect, and going into, putting aside the the desires of the flesh and things like that. The scriptures say, all things are lawful, but, it's not expedient. And we're speaking on those things, we're talking about the lawful things, because, like the scriptures say, let me read this first verse in Sirach chapter 2:1. It says, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation." All right. And this here truth in our walk, you're going to be tempted by certain things in the flesh, and not necessarily things that's, unlawful and things like that. When you come into this here truth, that's the baby steps at first, we're not talking about, you being tempted by eating some pork or things like that. There's things that are lawful, but hey, watching a couple of videos and talking to some brothers and things like that. Hey, man, we're going to wind up having to, put aside, those things that, we deeply desire in the flesh. All right. The lawful things, speaking of those things and stuff like that, to be able to level up, to be able to put these things to the side, things that you desire the most. All right. Things that, that you would, you have to pretty much make a sacrifice. Right. And you can't sacrifice things that don't really mean things unto you. All right. Your sacrifice has to be things that are important unto you, more or less to say, if you have something that you was going to throw away anyway, you can't just go and sacrifice that. It has no value unto you. All right. But nevertheless, in this your walk, you're going to wind up giving up things that are so-called valuable unto you, the things that you so-called, some brothers left a certain position or jobs and things like that in the world, or statuses in the world to, play the low role and be humble in this here thing, man. All right. So nevertheless, you may be tempted by those things when you come into this here truth, man. And again, not saying anything unlawful, but nevertheless, of lawful things, you may have been, let's just give you a quick example. You may have had a great job or something like that in the world. All right. But, in that job, you was constantly always working. Let's say you were a real estate agent, you were making great money and always selling homes, but it took up a lot of your time and everything else like that. But nevertheless, coming into this here truth, it took time to read and to study and to do all these different things, go out on the highways and the byways and to preach and to teach and to edify the elect, making your body a living sacrifice and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect, putting in that time and that work and that effort, man. All right, your attention, you're paying attention to, for, what you're paying forth with your time and your attention. All right, but nevertheless, now that you come into this in truth, things like that may present themselves to you, maybe you've been working a lowly job and things like that with just enough, like scripture say, your daily bread, all right, just enough to get by and things like that. But hey, nevertheless, this job is calling you back, another job opportunity of the same caliber is calling you back and trying to offer you certain things. Hey, we can give you what you had before and we can make it a lot better for you. All you got to do is just, come back and work for us or something like that, and, this is just an example, but there's, every brother knows pretty much what they've wound up giving up in their desires. You always see these things out there. And again, it's not that it's unlawful to go get a job or things like that, but hey, you'll know, hey, if I want to go get this here job, it's going to take away from time for me, preaching, teaching, edifying the elect and things like that. So, hey, I gotta, keep that off to the side so I don't, wind up, loving this world more than I love this here truth, man, loving the Lord. All right. So, hey, again, it's not wicked that you have a job or anything else like that. And we're not saying not to have no job or anything. That's, that's a simple mind. But using that as an example, somebody that lived a great lifestyle from the job that they had. All right. Now they had to downgrade to a simple job to not having, all the little extra perks of life and everything else like that. But hey, all their bills are paid. All right. And, they may be living paycheck to paycheck, but hey, now they have time to serve the Lord. Now they have time to feed these sheep and the elect, man. All right. Verse 2, it says, "Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, make not haste in the time of trouble." All right. So, hey, man, this isn't the time, like, as that Second Peter say, hey, seeing all these things going to be dissolved, what manner of person ought you to be in holy conversation? What should you be doing? All right. In these points of times, trying to so-called make it in this here world, please the flesh in this here world. All right. Or should you be trying to serve the Lord in this here time, man? Trying to be saved in this here time. All right. Because, hey, ultimately, you have to be building up your faith and things like that, showing the Lord that you're really putting your best, how do you say, your best foot forward, man. You're really invested into this here thing, man, because we have the great temptation that's about to come upon the earth. All right. And you want to be fully rooted into that. All right. You don't want to leave anything off the table. You don't want to be like, you know what, I could have done more, but hey, I spent a lot of my time dealing with this here job or dealing with this here woman and things like that, man. All right. Or dealing with this here sports or anything it is, I can give you a different example, because we were speaking about this 1 week at camp about, these guys out here walking around. They was like videotaping themselves and things like that. They were like a social media influencers or whatever they were, but they was, not YouTubing, but they was, doing videos of themselves, walking around just doing videos of themselves. And I was making a statement about how they have enough time for that, or with these little investors and things, these young investors there on YouTube making these videos and watching these videos to figure out what the next stock is. You could be spending your time doing all of that, or you could be spending your time watching edifying videos about this here truth, all right, or putting up your own videos to feed the sheep, man. All right, so hey, you have to, you could be looking at certain things, that's a prime example. I kind of like getting some money here and there, but and we was talking about the crypto stuff. This is how our camp kind of, the talk before our camp started out. Hey, we was talking about this and that, but it's like, yeah, man, I be seeing those little guys on YouTube that be, showing you their little plays and everything else like that and what they doing and teaching you how to get in all these things. But I don't really got time to be watching all that stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, let me go back. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Now more than ever, just using that as an example, there's a time where it's like, damn, man, you could be really flipping up and making you some money and doing this and doing that. But then, I think further down the road, let me go to verse 2. It says, set thy heart aright and constantly endure and make no haste in a time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. So going into that, using the same example of these little young investors and things like that, it's like, yeah, man, I mean, you can watch these videos, get built up into that stuff, watching these little investor videos and get built up into all that stuff and use their little plays and make you some money and everything else like that. But for what? You make you a little bit of shekels, buy you a little crib and a nice couple cars and everything else like that. But then at the end of it all, it's all missile food, man. So you think that that's going to buy you happiness. It's not going to buy you no happiness, man. All right, serving the Lord, in truth and sincerity to your fullest. All right, that should be pleasing unto you, man. All right, pleasing unto your spirit, knowing that you did the right thing because, hey, at the end of the day, all these other things, are going to just, at the back of your mind, like, yeah, I could get that type of stuff, but it's not going to make me happy. I know that stuff will draw me away from the truth, man. All right. But hey, these are those temptations that's up and around and about, man. I was talking to somebody way back in the day about that type of stuff. Like, hey, man, we didn't have these type of tools to be able to, like, damn, I wish I would have learned about this type of investment back in the days. Like, yeah, we didn't have these type of tools and folks on the internet telling us about these things and these apps and stuff like that. But, you younger guys, y'all have this here opportunity. Well, why don't you do it? And they don't really quite know what I'm into about that. I'm like, man, I just ain't got the time for all that, man. But hey, these are the things that may be coming up to so-called tempt you and things like that, man. Or whatever it is, man. All right. Again, you know what your desires and your heart's desires are. All right, let's continue on. Verse 4 says, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. Hey, man, and that's one of the things that, that's going to be part of your everyday battle, man. Because, again, you'll know what it is that you wind up giving up in your lifestyle and whatever it was, the lawful things that is that we're talking about, and how these opportunities always seem to keep presenting themselves right there in front of you, man. All right. But then you damned if you do and you damned if you don't. I give you that same opportunity. It's like, yo, wait, you tripping about living paycheck to paycheck and broke. Well, here's a way out. Well, yeah, if I take that way out, then I'm not going to have time for this here truth. The Lord will spew me out, man. All right. And then, if I don't, I'm over here hard pressed on this here, making these payments and everything else. But at least I can call out to the Lord. The Lord will provide, man. All right. The Lord is going to give us all these things 100-fold in the end anyway, man. All right. No matter what it is. All right. It says, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. And another thing, man, again, this is just that ultimate sacrifice, man. That's what should give you that, as you're being brought down, that should be the thing that brings you back up. You know what? I was able to say that I forsook all these things, to walk after the Lord, man. So I'm not just over here, walking after my own flesh, the desires of my flesh. I did everything because that was what was appealing unto me in the flesh, man. No, man. I gave up all these things and everything else up like that, so I could, follow after the Lord, man. That's where my heart was at. That's where I stored up my treasures at. All right. Verse 5, it says, for gold is tried in the fire, an acceptable minute in the furnace of adversity. All right. And some of these things, it's not necessarily just, you catching hell here and there, but sometimes, hey, it's just like that, how they say, that invisible hedge between you and the next thing that's in front of you, man. Or like, let me think of an example, man. Um, hey, man, hey, prime example, you may be lacking on women at this point in time, but then, hey, man, these women, I was telling somebody about this the other day, man. I was like, damn, man, you know, um, you know, it ain't nothing really for me to be sitting there like, oh, see a super fine woman. Like, damn, she's straight. Let me go holler at her. Oh, find out she got a man. Oh, no, I ain't even interested no more. That ain't no problem. But then you see another woman that she's single and she over here like overtly showing you some signs like, come holler at me and everything else like that. But like, yeah, but this is like almost a conflict of interest because like now, this is kind of like in my job scenario. And then this is, if I go ahead and take a bite at this here bait, this shit might backfire and I'll be up out of my job and everything else like that. This is that temptation right here, man. You know what I'm saying? But hey, you never know how that shit's gonna go out. And it's just like if it's of the Lord will give that to me. You know what I'm saying? But if it's not, leave that shit alone, man. All right, because you got to prepare your soul for temptation, man. All right, hey, if it was for you, the Lord will give it unto you. But if it's not, hey, man, don't worry about that, man. Because hey, what'll happen? You might want to go down that path, holler at this chick or whatever like that, then get comfortable with this chick, want to please this chick, take this chick out all the time, spend all this time with this here chick, and now you ain't got time for the Lord, man. Now you're not reading and you're not studying no more. Now you're not putting the videos. Now you're not going out to camp and things like that. Now you done fell out the damn truth, man. All right, so hey, that's not for you, man. So you have to be able to prepare yourself for that. It's like, damn, I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. It's like, yo, man, it'd be nice to have something like that, but then again, if I, and then if I don't holler at that, then motherfuckers is looking at me like I'm strange. What's wrong with him? Is hey, man, you have to understand, man. The Lord has everything set up for us to receive again 100-fold, man. All these things that we give up, but see, you have to be, you're going to be tried with a lot of things, whether you believe or you don't believe, man. All right, you have to give up all these things, like the scriptures say, we are forsaken all. What shall we have in the reincarnation or the regeneration, man? That's where the Lord told unto Peter, hey, you're gonna have 100-fold, man. So hey, all these things that's there to so-called try you, all right, back in your old world and everything else like that. These old jobs or opportunities coming back up to present themselves. Hey, man, if it was of the Lord would give it to you, man. All right, let's continue on. It says, believe in him and he will help thee. Order thy way aright and trust in him. Just like I was saying, man, if it was of the Lord would overly present that unto you, man. But some of these things are like in the Matrix, the woman in the red dress. You just walking by, you're supposed to be focused on this and focus on that, focus on a lesson that's being told unto you. But then you see the woman in the red dress and you turn around. Then you turn around again real quick and now you got a damn gun in your face, man. See, that's what's going to wind up getting you killed out here, man. And we talk about spiritually being killed or spewed out, man. All right, continuing on, it says, verse 7, it says, ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside, lest ye fall. And ye that fear the Lord, believe in him, and your reward shall not fail. Reiterating what I was just saying, man. Stay on that path, man. Like I said, all these things that we so-called desire, we'll get it, Lord's will before we close out. But all these things that we desire, man, that we have to, we so-called giving up, the Lord's going to give it back unto us, but in righteousness, man. Everything that you have on this here side is in, wickedness and everything else like that, man. You may have all these things again, you may want, how do I say, hey, we was talking about this again last week, man. I'm trying to make some money, flip up and this and that, get into the little crypto stuff. And then all of a sudden, as things is going good, and that shit just all goes away, man. Now, if you was rooted heavily into that type of stuff, then now you feeling all some type of way, man. But I mean, if you just like, it is what it is. Hey, if I make a little money, I make some money. If I don't, I don't. No big deal, but nevertheless, we shouldn't have our minds, fully rooted into those things of the world like that, man. All right, hey, that should just be a so-called, how you would say, a so-called pastime or something like that. That's not your main purpose on this here go around on the planet Earth. Your main purpose is what? To serve the Lord, man. This is the whole duty of man. All right. So it says, verse 9, ye that fear the Lord, hope for good and for everlasting joy and mercy. Look at the generations of old and see, did any ever trust in Yahweh and was confounded, or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken, or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? All right. And a prime example was Abraham, right? You have Abraham, who he loved his son Isaac. Take that son, thy only son thou lovest, and basically sacrifice him, man. You have to give up that what you really truly value and you love, man. All right. But the Lord will give it back to you 100-fold over, man. All right. The Lord just want to see if you really with him. All right. If you can really withstand the quote unquote the wiles of the devil, because hey, man, in this sense, the devil's gonna come and present these things unto you. Hey, man, you can have all these kingdoms, just bow down before me at this point in time. Like, nah, man, I'm gonna get all the kingdoms anyway, but it's in the Lord's time, in due time, and not on your time. All right, it's not gonna happen quick, fast, and in a hurry right now, man. And you have a lot of people that so-called sell out on this side for what an instant gratification, an instant win. All right, but we wasn't, set up for those things, man. We were set up to endure to the end. All right, we were set up to go through these trials and tribulations through the fiery furnace, man. All right, so what? We have to sit here and endure into the end, man, and endure these afflictions, man. Continuing on, it says, verse 12, woe to the fearful heart and faint hands, and to the sinners that go two ways. You say you into this thing, but then you going back into the world, man. Woe to him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not, therefore shall he not be defended. All right, again, reiterating the same thing. You put your hand onto the plow, but then now all of a sudden you doubling back. Woe to you that have lost patience, and what will you do when the Lord shall visit? And that's the one major thing. They have lost their patience, man. You have to keep fighting and enduring, man. And this is going to be all the way up into the end, man. You have to be, willing to give up all these things and stand on that all the way into the end, instead of like, I'm going to give this here up for a season. And then, you know what I'm saying? If the Lord's going to have to give me these things, or if not, I'm going to break, man. But this, what you have to understand, is this is actually building you up, man. Just like in a sense of, you got two kids in school, man. One kid is at the school going out playing all day long with their friends and everything else like that. But then you have the other kid that's going in the room, reading and studying and getting built up for the test. Test time come around, or just going through school. You have one kid that got straight A's and got a scholarship to go to college to go get a better job and better career, ace through college, and now they got this good job. And the other kid was just, I'm spending more time pleasing the flesh, going outside and playing with my friends and everything else like that. And now he's over here working on the fries at McDonald's, man. Now the two kids are looking at each other like, the fry cook is trying to figure out how come he's not on the level as the other guy. Hey, man, you didn't, how do I say? He didn't give up this here world, man. Or, he was in class and studying a little bit, but he didn't study as long as the other guy. So what? He lost his patience. He was desiring to live after the flesh, and now he's reaping after the flesh, man. All right. Verse 15, they that fear the Lord will not disobey his word, and they that love him will keep his ways. They that fear the Lord will seek that which is well pleasing unto him, and they that love him shall be filled with the law. All right. It says, they that fear Yahweh will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in his sight. And you got to prepare your mind for these things, man. You're going to have to go without those things that's really so-called pleasing unto your flesh. All right, all the way, to the end. He that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved, as the scripture saith. All right, it says, saying, we will fall into the hands of the Lord and not into the hands of men. As for his majesty, so is his mercy. So, hey, we'd rather be plagued and tried and, doing without for what? The Lord's sake, rather than being subjected to the flesh, subjected to man. All right, serving, the man out here in their systems and things like that, just so we can, quote unquote, get ahead in life, man. All the riches, the gold, and all these things that you can so-called attain on this here earth, women and all these different things. None of that is profitable if you ain't got the Lord on your side. Well, look, we in hell, man. All right, so all the money that you can get, Esau gonna tax it all. Your house, your home, all that shit gonna fall apart, and everything gonna just come to naught. Your women, they all out of order. That ain't even no question. So, hey, man, what should we be doing? We should be looking for a new heaven and a new earth wherein dwells righteousness, where all these things are going to be added unto us in righteousness. But let us sacrifice now, all right, and put away all those things, the desires of the flesh, that we may serve the Lord. All right, so I kept quoting this. Let's go ahead and grab this, and then we'll close out. I didn't mean to make this video that long, but just want to touch on this real quick. Matthew 19, and starting in verse 27. Then answered Peter and said unto him, behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? And Yahushua said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes. All right, so hey, you gave up all these things. I'm gonna set you up to be a judge, a ruler. All right, you was at the bottom. You cast your so-called life away. All right, and trying to live your life, you cast all those things away for what? For the Lord's sake, that you may how do I say, be built up at the end. Verse 29, and everyone that has forsaken houses or brethren or sisters or father or mother or wife or children or land for my name's sake shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life. All right, and so, hey, you gave up all these things, wives, children, homes and things like that, living those types of lives and lifestyles and things like that, on this here side. She didn't really give up anything, man. Like I said, hey, these homes are corruptible. You one day you have it now and can afford it now, and the next day, it's a housing crisis. You done lost that. Children. You may be dealing with your kids and everything else like that, and have your kids growing up, but then they get turned out in this society, man. You don't really even get to spend the quality and good time that you want with them, man. All right, women, we already, we can go on days on that, but nevertheless, you want a so-called righteous woman that's going to, you know, be in line and in order with you, man. All right, so you over here, going off to the flesh. You want this, you want that. But it's not going to turn out the way you want it, man. All right, so hey, we have to prepare our souls for temptation, no matter what. All these opportunities being presented unto us, man. It's not our time, man. This ain't our kingdom, man. All right. Verse 30 says, "But many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first." All right, but nevertheless, the point, is pretty much made there. Hey, man, we're gonna have to give up certain things in this here world, man, and really those things that are valuable unto us, man, the things that we hold in high regard, man. All right, no matter what it was, or what type of lifestyle you may have come from, all right, and the things you may have been doing in your life beforehand, you have to give up those things to so-called prosper, to go on to the next level. You have to give up those things that you really truly desire, man. That has to be your sacrifice, man. All right, you can't give up a sacrifice of no value, man. If you don't really like, let's just say, you got an old VHS collection, but now you don't have a VCR no more, and all those tapes is all old and all ruined. But then you got all these copies, they all digital copies now on your hard drive, so you don't really even need the VHS tapes no more, man. And then, I'm gonna sacrifice my VHS collection. Well, you're not really giving that up, because you don't even gonna watch them shits no more. You was gonna throw them away. Now you think you can somewhat get paid up off of them, and it ain't got no real value onto you, man. Give up your last little collection of these digital copies, man. All right. But I'm going to go ahead and close out with that. Lord, when this here lesson was edifying unto the elect. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation, much love for you, Aki, and pushing this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth, and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Until next time, I say, stay strong. Shalom.